Well, how we doing this Friday afternoon? It's me in the green room because, well, for one reason, it's colder than shit outside, and for the second reason, I don't know if it's supposed to be sleet, hail, or what it is, but these little bitty, it looks like shaved ice kind of pellets. Man, there's just tons of them coming down coming down like rain, but it's kind of like snowing away. And it's colder than shit outside. I had to go outside to get my tripod because I left my tripod outside. And I'm freezing my ass off. Now, I've been gearing up crazy like you wouldn't believe. Even though I know I don't have a vehicle as of yet to go to the market. Car goes in the shop. I'm gonna send it sometime this weekend, next week, first like Monday or whatever, to sit it down there to get it worked on. Push come to shove, I might have to buy a smaller canopy and just take the car on Sundays and do it that way and get a couple pop-up tables and just, the cheapy easy kind of thing. Until we can get something lined out more permanent to where I can have something, with more adequate hauling capacity and everything else. But, you gotta make do with what you have, and, beggars can't be choosers. But what I have been doing is good old Dandelion Jelly. Now this one here, it's jelly, but it's like, I call it like gloopy jelly. It's, it's kind of not really runny, but it's kind of like Jello form. I have taken one of these as a sacrificial jar, and it's just like jelly, but it's just a little runny. Not really runny, but it's not like my. Oh, let me get a better jar so I can find one. These are full to the rim. Kind of like brim, like the old coffee commercial. Now, I had to take my lid off. This is my elderberry jelly. Now, see, I can turn this thing sideways, and it doesn't do anything. Now, there's a little bit of a lip right there, but that's just like a little bit of the not really moisture, but like the remnant of the, I guess, the juice part of it. But I can turn this puppy sideways, and it doesn't move like the elderberry does. It does a teeny bit, but not too much. Now this is elderberry. I have my own bush, like I've said before, at the side of the house. I got roughly 2 cases of elderberry jelly. I got a case of dandelion jelly. Well, actually I got a case and a couple jars. Let me slide this over a little bit. Here's one of my grand things. Pickled Brussels sprouts. Let me tell you what. If you think Brussels sprouts give you the farts just eating them that way, get you some pickled ones. You will clear a room like you've never seen before. And then, let me slide my jar over a little bit more. I got a bunch of cases upon cases and stuff put up here. And then, here she be. This is one of my goodies people buy occasionally. Let me make sure I got my glasses off so I can read this better. There. Homemade apple butter. I got 14 or 16 pint-sized jars of this made. And then I got small jars of apple butter, like my Dandelion Jelly, these little small jars. I got some apple butter in these small ones like that. Let me see if I can find a more firm jar. Yeah, that was about the same way. I know I got a couple in here. Guess not. I guess they're all kind of. This one's still kind of liquidy, kind of like bouncy, but you can see it has a little bit more firmness to it. Not by a whole lot, but it's there. It's still jelly, still edible. Put it on toast. But I like my jelly a little bit more firm. My lighting's getting kind of bad in here. I don't know what it is with the sunlight tracking through the window. But Yeah, I got elderberry jelly, pickled Brussels sprouts, dandelion jelly, apple butter. Of course, on the very, very bottom, I can't get to because I have to move all my boxes and everything, but I got more cowboy candy made too. I got a bunch of stuff made. As of right now, what's being made on the kitchen stove is I'm melting a bunch of soy wax, paraffin wax, and I think a remnants of one of the candles I had made before. Because what a lot of times I do when I make candles, if I get to a certain point, I'll take a little styrofoam, little bowl, it's like yay so big around, pour the XX wax in it, and let it harden up and make like a disc. And then whenever I do make another candle of that form again with fresher wax or whatever, I'll take that block that I poured that I didn't have enough to make anything with, put it back inside the container of, and there she be. So I got another thing of wax on the stove. I'm turned sideways so I can move these boxes around. There we go. Everything's back to normal. But I'm working on a blueberry muffin fragrance candle in there. I got a couple of jars pre-set up with wick and everything. I got the fragrance to the side. All I gotta do is put the fragrance in the candle wax. Actually, what I gotta do is I have to let the candle wax get to a certain temperature before I put the fragrance in. So then all I gotta do then is stir it around real good, let it sit a little bit more, pour it in the mold, let it do its magic, and hopefully it doesn't sink in the middle to where I have to add a little bit more to it. But if it does, no big deal. But I plan on making probably 3 or 4 small ones with that one in there. I redid one for twist. I made a candle with it. I didn't like how it turned out, so I chunked it out and remelted everything out and put it in a different container, bigger container actually, with more of a lid, so the fragrance stays on the more with it. And then I got some banana nut bread fragrance of a candle. I gotta melt it down and make some more with them. And then I gotta make a few more coffee ones, and I'll be done. And the only thing I can do then, truthfully, probably sometime this afternoon or evening, I gotta get online and see where I can find me some more cake flour. Even if I have to order offline, most of the stores I've been to so far, nobody has cake flour. It's like it just don't exist in the grocery stores. So I guess I'm gonna have to order some offline and just bite the bullet and pay a little bit higher price and do it that way. I do know that it's like CNS or something like that. It's an Amish store down in not Magnolia, Munfordville area. They got a great big area of that, but I just haven't. It's a long drive down there. It's like almost like an hour drive just to go down and get some cake flour. Of course, if you go down there, they have all kinds of other things, great things for baking wise, like 50-pound bags of self-rising flour, stuff like that, which is another thing I'll probably be getting down there if I do make it down there in the next week or two. And then they got a huge deli section, where you can go in there and you can buy sliced meat or cheeses, stuff like that. Lebanon bologna is one of the biggest things that I love, but it's super hard to get around here because a lot of the delis don't carry it. And the only place I have found it is down at the Amish place down there. Of course, I got a big old log of it. It's expensive as shit. But Lebanon bologna makes one of the best fried bologna sandwiches there is. But it's kind of hard to come by. I wish this lighting would quit. It's like this feels like I'm sitting in a dark spot. I think it's because the light behind the window, my camera's picking it up more so than what the light in the room is. But you know, I don't plan making another video later this evening, so here it is. But yeah, I got a bunch more of these little pint-sized jars here like this. Now these are generic jars. As you can see, the lids here, there's nothing on them. And I buy these mainly because I can get the jars a lot cheaper than I can buy the ball mason jars. And I'll show you why they're cheaper. That little white ring right there. If you're using these for like a dry can, these lids here work great. They're perfect. Because the only thing you gotta do then, put this back together. Lightly, I mean, you ain't got a super tighten lid down. You just, you know, like you would with Canon, just get it to that one little sweet spot to where it is, you know, it's not snug tight, but it's tight enough. You take your piece to your adapter piece to your food saver machine, stick it on the top of this, and it'll suck all the air out and make it go, like push a little button down, and then, you know, everything's nice, snug, and tight. Well, for dry canning, that works great. But for water bath canning, it's crappy because this lid will buckle like, well, I hate to do it to it, but you know, I might have to. It will actually bend like that. Even though I bent the shit out of it. But that's what I mean buckle, that's what it'll do. And that's what it does. And these lids are not worth a shit per cannon. So, but if you dry can, they're great. Now this lid here, since it's all been smushed and everything else, I'll just take this lid, since I've already bent it up and ruined it, and I'll toss it in my scrap metal bag and, you know, turn it in for scrap metal, because that's basically what this is worth now, unless you use it for maybe like a target practice or something like that. But, you know, it's worthless now. But these lids are crap. They're garbage. Other than for dry canning, and that's about it. But I can get a big old box of these cheap jars with lids for a cheaper price, and I can buy, you know, a large box of, you know, mason jar, pint size, or quarter pint, or, you know, whatever like that. That's what this problem is. It's the sun outside. That's why, yeah, that's what it is. I keep going like dark shade. You know, you see me now. I'll fade into another dark shade again. Yep, here it goes. But anyway, it is what it is. Now, I talked to my dad. He's gonna come down within X amount of days or weeks. He's gonna pick up the Blazer. He's gonna haul it back to Indiana, and he has a buddy of his that does all kinds of front end kind of work. So he's gonna basically retrieve the Blazer and take it up there and see what his buddy can do to get it straightened out, fixed, or whatever. So at least that's one thing off my plate as stress-wise goes. Now, I did off the horn. I caught the phone the horn with my mom the other day. We got kind of I'll put it lightly, a disagreement. And evidently, I'm getting shafted on the deal that we made a couple years ago. Now, I'm still possibly going to get some property on the farm, but now all of a sudden my little brother is coming to play where he's supposed to be getting part of it. Now this is another thing that I don't understand. The farm is 200 acres. Divided up 4 ways, it's 50 acres per person. Four-way split. 50 acres, you know, divided. Now, she told me she's got 26 acres. Well, there's about 25 acres, somewhere 25, 26, something like that. Well, there's 20-something acres, 20 to 25 acres missing off the 50 acres that she's supposed to have gotten. And now she's going to divide supposedly the 26 or 25 or 26 2 ways between me and my brother. And yeah, it really pissed me off. And because the original agreement is that no, this was before my oldest brother got killed. Jason, which was the one that got killed, and my other brother was supposed to get the houses, the cars, the money, all the excess, and I was gonna get the farm, and that was it. And I was happy with it because with 50 acres of ground of farmland, I could still classify it as a farm and get my tax credit as a farm. I could get my animals and everything else I wanted to get and still be classified as a farm. And now all of a sudden, yeah, it's everything's a giant shitstorm whirlwind. And even if I get half of 26, which is like 13 something acres, I mean, I'm not going to sneeze at 13 acres given to me, but I just, when you make a deal with somebody and it's been that deal and all of a sudden they renege on the deal and they change it, they alter it, and all of a sudden now it's like, well, here's this is what's going to take place instead of that. Yeah, it kind of really pisses you off in a way. And because what she's doing is kind of like what my dad used to do in the past. He would promise you a bunch of shit and wouldn't come through with it. Now he has altered his past some. He has made, he has, kept his end, not really kept his end, but if he tells you he's going to do something, he will do it. You just don't know when he's going to do it. But he still does it. At least he'll do it. But yeah, my mom's always been a straight shooter. She's always kept her word, except for this instance. And yeah, it really pissed me off. I'm still pretty pissed off about it. But I've calmed down enough to where I'm not like chewing nails and shitting bullets type pissed off. I'm just pissed off because it's been an agreement, like a written agreement and everything else for X amount of years, and all of a sudden now it's like, well, I changed my mind now, but we're going to do things different. And one of the major things that really gets me upset is the loss of acreage that is unaccounted for, and yeah, that's another thing. And then I was also as well, I was supposed to help pay for a survey, which was half the survey cost. Well, if he's going to get the other portion of the property that's supposed to be going to me, he's going to have to pay his portion of the survey as well, because I'm not going to pay for him. And me and him have really bad blood between each other. I mean, really bad blood. Even though he's technically he's my brother, technically, I don't acknowledge him as my brother. And there's been a lot of bad blood between me and him over the past 20 plus years. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But one thing I will say in my defense, and this is part of the reason why we have bad blood. At least I did not sue my own mother. So, and that's the stage one. That's like the top part. But there's other things that just like landslide going down to straight to hell, like a snowball going to hell type, so to say, that has caused me and him to have really bad blood between each other. And my mom's all the time, she goes, you just need to make up with him. I'm like, I ain't doing shit. He's the one that started it. He's the one that caused all this. He's the one that, he's gonna have to do all the shit, not me. So, but I'm not going to go there. That's a whole different topic, a whole different ball game. You do not want to get involved in that. So, yeah, it is what it is. But other than that, I've had March was a really shitty month for me. I mean, it started out good and it just went. So, what can you do? Roll with the punches, go with the hits, and make the best of it you can. April kind of started out the same way, but it's kind of like this right now. Until I get the car to the guy, Wells Tech down in Magnolia, until they say, yay, we can fix this, or you're just screwed even more. Until that time comes, it's April right now is like this. That's all it is. So, but until, but I have faith in them. I have faith in my luck right now. I believe the car is going to get fixed, and it shouldn't cost more than 1,500, 2,000 max. That's with everything done to it. But I'm going off what it cost last time to do the Blazer. Of course, the Blazer had a lot more shit wrong with it. The car, basically, to my understanding, there's a solenoid on the side of the transmission that's causing it not to shift. So, I really don't foresee it being that much money. Maybe $1,000, 15 at max, something like that. So, fingers crossed, knock on wood, and a little bit of praying, nothing can go wrong. And if it does, it does. And if it does go wrong, then, what are you going to do? Buy another vehicle. There you go. But if I buy another vehicle, it's going to be something that I want to get, not something to compromise what the wife wants to get. I'm going to get something that I want for a change. Because since I sold my truck, hauling capacity wise, yeah, I'm tired of, no room for, storage, no room to carry anything, no room to transport people. I don't care about leather seats. I don't care about bells and whistles. I can have a crank down window. That's not going to hurt me none. I don't have to have electric windows. I don't have to have all these bells and whistles. I can have a plain Jane vehicle. I don't have to have heated seats, simple and easy. As long as it gets to point A to point B, there's no breakdowns, there's no mechanical issues. I don't give a shit. So, if we do have to buy a vehicle, that's what I'm looking at doing. Something simple. Easy, practical, and there you go. So other than that, that's my video today. Thank you for listening to me gripe and complain. Hopefully next time I see you, I have a lot better news. Or I have something more exciting for you. Hopefully tomorrow, weather depending, I will be looking for mushrooms. But that's weather depending, because they're talking about really cold weather coming in, snow coming in, all this other shit coming in. So that's kind of like an iffy thing right now. Now Sunday's supposed to be nice. Sunday's supposed to be the nicest day of this whole past week, and I might do it Sunday because it's supposed to be a lot nicer weather, a little bit warmer, and what better time to go looking for mushrooms when it's warm versus when it's cold. So, but anyway, y'all have a great Friday. Have the great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and hopefully, as long as the Lord upstairs lets me, my feet hit the floor every morning, I'll see y'all again soon.